do what I do.
Arrived in the New World in the early 1500s and participated in expeditions alongside Hernán Cortés and others like Estebanico the Moor were very integral to early Spanish exploration of the American Southwest in 1520s and the 1530s. And so by the time the first documented Africans, and these are not even the first documented Africans, but by the time the first enslaved Africans were brought to Jamestown, Virginia in 1619, 1492 to 1619, that's over 100 years. They came as, these enslaved Africans came as part of a Dutch ship's human cargo. But people of African descent had already lived in parts of present-day Florida, South Carolina, the Caribbean for over a century as free people. And it's important to note that some of these Africans were initially classified not as slaves, but as indentured service. Okay, just like the white people. But that status rapidly shifted to chattel slavery over the next several decades, especially after the Virginia slave codes of 1705. But see, that's not, they codified slavery as an inheritable lifelong circumstance. Okay, so listen where we at. 1492 all the way up to 1705. All right, over 200 some years. Black people were all throughout the Caribbean and North America and South America and what we call Canada. So not all of us were slaves. This is why we call ourselves indigenous. We came here before Columbus. This is why we call ourselves indigenous. And invariably, many of the foundational Black Americans can trace their roots back to a time even before Columbus got here. This is what my brothers and sisters are trying to explain to you, sir. And for you guys who, the one that particularly got a little, had me running hot, this fella right here, just so we know, just so we know who really, he called you dumb. They call us dumb, right?
Ever since Trump passed what he passed, right? The whole 6-3 judges and all that. I see a lot of FBA coming online celebrating, saying, turn in your passport, saying it's time for you to go home, saying Trump just solidified indigenous Black Americans and their rights to the land and all that. So I'm just wondering, like, does this mean we have been arguing with dumb people called FBA? Because the whole basis of the argument was you said you're not African.
We are saying we are not African. We are of African descent. Some of us are of Native American descent. Some of us of our European descent. We are not of African descent like you, sir. Everybody's from Africa and we have a direct connection to Africa. We can take a DNA test and tell you that, but many of us did not come here as enslaved people, or we have relatives that didn't come here as enslaved people. That's what they are trying to tell you, sir, and you got the nerve to call us dumb. But let me get back to this lesson because I want to teach my people. Okay, so now let's get back to where we are. 1492, Columbus sails the ocean blue. But what about 1311 when Abubakar came here with that 2,000 ships and 100 support ships? What about in 1492 when the Black people came and all the conquistadors, all these Black people came over here? What about the 1520s when Hernán Cortés brought Estebanico the Moor and Juan Guerrero? What about all these Black people? Okay. So let us slide forward to 1776. This is a year the United States declared its independence and Black people had already been living throughout the American colonies. So America, the United States of America did not exist until 1776. So what about the 400 some years before that when we have Abubakar come up here? We just gonna forget about those Black people that came? What about the ones that came from Spain as a contingent of Moors? We just gonna forget about those? We're already living throughout the American colonies. Some were enslaved, but others were free. And so by the mid 18th century, there were thriving communities of Black people, particularly in Philadelphia, New York, Charleston, and Boston. And these communities had established Black churches, schools, fraternal organizations, and businesses. These were free people, okay? And they formed the foundation of what will become an enduring Black civic culture. We've been here. This is what my people are trying to tell you. And so by the time the first U.S. Census popped up in 1790, there were approximately 757,000 people of African descent in the newly formed United States, of whom 59,000 were free. These people weren't slaves, they'd been here. Right, and it's documented. And so by 1860, on the eve of the Civil War, the Black population had grown from approximately to approximately 4.4 million, and 488,000 of these people were free Black people. Okay? So you had nearly 500,000 who were free Black people. Where'd they come from? Not everybody came on slave ships. And of course, some people have worked their way to freedom, but not all these people came over here as slaves. I'm just saying, man, it's historical. We don't have to argue about that. And I'm not ignoring slavery, but all of our ancestors weren't slaves. Invariably, as a foundation of Black American, because of intermarrying, you're going to have some indentured or people who were enslaved Africans, but not all of your ancestors were slaves. Okay, it is historically accurate and critically important to recognize that not all Black Americans were enslaved prior to the Civil War. From the colonial era through the antebellum period, a significant minority of Black people were free. They lived complex lives filled with resistance, resilience, and enduring discrimination. Hell, by 1860, on the eve of the Civil War, the U.S. Census recorded. My name is Dennis Spurling. I'm an attorney here in Houston, Texas. My mandate is to be an advocate for Black men. Dennis Spurling got the mic on fire. I'm a Black father, I have Black sons. Tune in, weekly feeling inspired. From the heart, real talking night. Every episode brings a light. Subscribe. Hit the like, my voice, my wisdom. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every it's cold outside. Listen, King coming. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Alright, let me roll out. Comment below, let's start the chat. Insight so deep, like we said. Together vibing, no need to wait. Dennis Spurling always first. What's up? Welcome to the broadcast. Hit the like, won't you dare. Share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate. Yeah, they peso trick. Some of y'all can't help it. Some of y'all can't help tricking. Some of y'all got a soft spot for her. You enjoy the ride, come say hi. Catch the wave, don't pass by. Lifted spirits, always in sight. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe, hit the like, won't you dare. Always inside. In this podcast, joy takes flight. Subscribe.
hit the light, won't you dare share the love, you know it's fair. Join us every week, don't be late. Drop some coins in the collection plate.
Donation. I thought it was a trap.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.